Hello, how you doing? Welcome to this week's Homebrew Weekender. How are you doing? You join me in the Conservatory of Glee as always. Yeah, good to see you. Now, what's been going on this week? Not very much really. You've probably seen last weekend I threw up, or the weekend before it may have been. Last weekend I was away in the Cotswolds and I brought back some lovely beers, and I will show them on camera, but not just yet. Alright, I'm going to be doing some reviews of them. We're going to be doing the reviews probably during the live broadcast on the Saturday night on ivlog.tv, and then I'll stick them up here on YouTube for those people that want to see them. You can watch them. If not, you haven't got to. It's all good. So yeah, I'll be showing you some of those a little bit later. I'm at the moment using up some of my beer kits. So I've been to the shed of Glee and I've grabbed a tin of Wilco's lager and a tin of extract, and I've chucked it in, and I've put some hops in the top, dry hopped it to give it some flavour. And I've recorded some bits, but it's not, you know, in depth or anything, boys and girls. It's just the usual stuff really. Not much to see here, move along, but it's something to look at, isn't it? Yeah, so watch that and I'll see you at the end. Ta-da! Right, so this is what we're going to be putting on today then. I've got 100 grams of hops here. Columbus, these were given to me for a Christmas present. I've not used them up yet. I'm going to use 40 grams of those as a dry hop. This is light malt extract, I think, although I can't tell, and that's the Wilco's Light Golden Lager. So yeah, let's give it a go. So in here we've got 5 Milton tablets, as you can see. I've got my paddle, I've got my blowout tube, and I've got a tin opener. It's basically anything in here that's going to come in contact with a beer needs to be cleaned. So obviously I'm going to need a tin opener to open the cans, yada yada yada, and I'm going to need a paddle to shake it all about a bit. Oh, there you go. Right, so while we're waiting for this, we'll put this in really hot water and we'll just let that sit for about 15 minutes. That will loosen up the malt extract that's inside it. So as you can see, the 2 tins, virtually empty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that up with boiled water from the stove, and that, give it a little bit of a stir around, make sure it goes in here with the rest of the extract, and we'll fill this up with water, and that's it. Here we are then. There's about 3 or 4 litres of hot water in there, nearly boiled on the stove, but hot enough to melt the extract at the bottom. So we do the usual thing, fellas, give it a good old stir, and then we'll fill it up with water. So there we have it then. It's filled up to about 20. I'm brewing this one short to try and get a little bit more out of it. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more flavour. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chuck our yeast in. We'll do that once the temperatures have gone down to a decent level, so I'll do it a little bit later. And then after about day 3 we'll put in 40 grams of our hops. Here we are then. Right, this is a 2nd or 3rd day. There's a little bit of activity. There we go. You can see there is fermentation happening. What we'll do is we'll open this up. I'll show you inside. We can see some fizzes. There's some bubbles in there, so we know it's fermenting, which is great. Shut it quickly. Up here, obviously I've got my paddle, I don't need to use that. This is a hot bag, alright? So what I'm going to do, obviously I don't want to chuck this hot bag in as it is, because there could be bugs on there, there could be lots of crap on there. So I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to cover it with Star San, make sure it gets covered in Star San, and then I'm going to measure out my hops. And here we are. There's my bag covered in Star San. Right, I'm going to make sure that's nice and covered. I'm going to squeeze out all the Star San back into there, and then the Star San can go back in to my little Star Sand spray, the spray bottle, because you can use it again and again. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be chucking in some Columbus. Someone bought me these for Christmas. Cheers, Ness. We're going to be using about 40 grams of those. So we'll measure those out and we'll chuck them in. So there we are, the hop bag's in there. I'm just going to chuck my hops in, get around about 40, 42, something like that. 41, 42, 43, 43 would be great, that'll do me. We'll chuck it in. So there you go. You didn't see me doing the dry hopping bit and putting the bag in, because, you know, what's to see? You've got a bag, stick it in, don't you? But what I have got here is I've got a bottle. I'm not going to show you the front because it's just advertising stuff, isn't it? And it's not what's in here anyway. Last video we did the Ruby Red, St. Peter's Ruby Red, dry hop to hell and back. I nearly said something else then. I could try and not swear as much as I used to, fellas. And, you know, I do have a tendency to say the odd F word occasionally. I'll try and rein it in. That's my New Year's resolution. It's taken me 6 months to get this far, so, you know, I might as well kick it in now. The Ruby Red is in here with 70 odd grams of Amarillo. I overdid it. Of course I overdid it. But, you know, sometimes you've got to have a laugh, haven't you? It's going to be quite bitter, of course, and it's going to be quite strong taste, I imagine. So here it is. Here's the Ruby Red. It's just about ready, I think, to give it a go. Again, one of my standard pours. It's the Roy Pour. Sounds like a beer, doesn't it? A Roy Pour. Oh, I could be up to something there. But there you go. That's not a bad colour, is it? It's all right. Smells fairly sweet. I did check. It did ferment all the way through as I expected. So maybe this beer's just got a bit of sweetness to it. It's quite caramelly. I don't know. You fellas out there that have had the Ruby Red before will be able to confirm this one way or the other. But yeah, I had a good time last weekend, by the way, fellas. Those who are members of the Facebook Leggy Bloke group would have seen me in the Cotswolds and trying loads and loads of different beers, and I've brought some back with me. I'll show you some of those in a minute. But let's give this a taste. What can I smell? I can smell sweetness. You only get that with homebrew, you know? When I say homebrew, I mean kits. If I was to brew something from scratch with just extract, or, you know, all grains, you don't get it with all grain, but if I was to use, say, dry malt extract as an example, or liquid malt extract, doesn't really matter, and stick it on the stove and boil it up and boil some hops, 60 minutes, and do all the usual stuff, which I will do at some point. I just don't have the time at the moment. You don't get this kind of sweet smell, but you know, you can't have everything, can you? So let's give it, I think you can see it's fairly well carbonated because it's keeping the head. So, you know, that's always a good sign, isn't it? Let's give it a sip. You know what? I was expecting that to be a lot bitter than it is. It's all right. I can definitely taste the Amarillo in there. I wasn't expecting much from this at all, but it's all right. Quite smooth. Again, there's a little bit of sweetness in there initially, and then you get the bitter hit. But it's fine. I'm probably not going to chuck that away. I'll probably keep it and drink it. Can't say fairer than that, can you? Yeah, it's not as bad as the other one. What was the other one that I did twice and threw it away? St. Peter's, what's it? The St. Peter's What's It beer, regularly available from all home brew shops. You know, you look back in the videos, you'll see it. I tried it twice, and both occasions I threw it away because something went wrong. So let me go and grab the beers that I brought back from Somerset. Somerset? Didn't go to Somerset. Where did I go? Cotswolds. That's right. I've been drinking too much, haven't I? I haven't really. I'm just forgetful. Might I have Alzheimer's? I would, but I've forgotten. So I went to the Cotswolds and then we had a really nice time, and I visited some really nice local pubs and tried loads and loads of different beers. And I managed to find a bottle of my favourite beer that I brought back with me. So I'll show you that in a minute. So bear with me and I'll be back. Hello. So one weird and wonderful wipe later, as done by me on the computer. I tell you, you can't beat my computer skills, can you, boys and girls? Shoddy shite operation we've got here. Bit like my broadcasting, really. So I've got, behave yourself. I've got 7 beers here, and I'm just going to show them to you and read them to you quickly, just to give you an idea as to what sort of beer reviews are going to be coming up over the course of the next week or 2 or 3. So we've got the Aviator. Bing! The Aviator is 5% beer. It's achingly cool, crisp and sophisticated lager that's simply a cut above. Yeah, I'm not going to read much else off that. If you want to know more about it, you can watch the review, can't you? Cheddar Owls, simply gorgeous. Hard rock, a light gold, very hoppy pale ale with spicy herbal notes and a floral citrus finish. That one's 4.4%. Look forward to that one. I don't expect some of these to be any good. This one is called Willy Good Owl, and I don't know whether that's a ferret or something on there. Is it a ferret or a dog? I don't know. It's a dog, isn't it? And I've got my glasses on. This is called Willy Brown. So this is a nut brown ale at 5%. Don't know. Might not like it, but you don't know till you try, do you? And there's another Willy Good Ale. This is called High Fives. This is a pale ale at 5%. Has it got the same dog on it? I think it has. I think the dog features on quite a few of their beers. There's Willy Good Ale again. It's called Hopadelic. That one's going to be interesting. It's a dry hopped IPA at 5% with Chinook, Crystal, Citra, hops, and Centennial. So that'll be a really nice one, hopefully. And the final 2, we've got a Cheddar Owls Wild Thing bottle conditioned West Coast Pale Ale. For those that are into bottle conditioned beers. And this was my favourite from visiting the many pubs around the Cotswolds. This is the Bitter Bully, the bottle conditioned Pale Ale. Really nice, this. I really enjoyed it. And the reason I enjoyed it is because it's got Cascade, Amarillo and Simcoe in. I like those hops. They're fantastic. So there you go. Those are the beers that I should be drinking over the course of the next couple of weeks in the broadcast. So pop back if you want to see the reviews for some of those. And yeah, we'll do them. And in the meantime, here is some music. No, listen. Oh no, shut your face. That's it for this week. Next week I will be mostly doing a kit, but it's a bit of an interesting one, this one, because it's not got your traditional kit kind of setup to it. It's a little bit different because rather than using real hops, we're going to get little liquid hop bottles. We're going to put those in, but you'll find out for yourself on the next Homebrew Wednesday video. What's wrong? I'm a bit pissed, aren't I? Getting a little bit worrying, folks. What am I going to do? Right, so that's it. Ta-da. No, I'll see you next week.